From the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution, I'm Joel Norwood with your farm news and markets here on Friday. Inauguration Day coming up on Monday, and right now there is a flurry of activity in our nation's capital, getting key government positions in place. And the U.S. Senate Ag Committee is set to hold their confirmation hearing for the Secretary of Agriculture coming up next Wednesday, January 23rd. That'll be for Brooke Rollins, President Trump's nominee for Ag Secretary. Over 400 national and state ag groups this week have publicly urged the Senate to quickly confirm Rollins, citing her lifelong ties to agriculture, including growing up through 4-H and FFA, also leadership roles under Trump and advocacy for rural priorities. Rollins is a Texas native and founder of the America First Policy Institute, has experience raising livestock and supporting policies benefiting farmers and ranchers. Supporters say her leadership crucial to address challenges in agriculture and ensure rural America's voice is heard in the White House. Pretty nice winter day out there right now, but a cool down is headed our way. Let's take a look at the weather thanks to Seed Consultants. Here's Ryan.
Mild air surging across Ohio today. Do not get used to it. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Quick forecast update for you. The mild air creating plenty of cloud cover as the warmth comes over a very cold and snow-covered surface. We've also got our next weather system coming towards us. It has clouds with it as well. I think after midnight we start to see moisture spread into western Ohio, spreading through the rest of the state through the balance of Saturday. Rain and wet snow both. I think most of central and southern Ohio will be in the rain side. I am looking at some slushy, sloppy snow accumulations up north, coating to an inch, probably not much more than that just because it's so wet. And then temperatures crash lower from Sunday right on through next week. Deep freeze temperatures on the way. I'm Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. Weather brought to you by Seed Consultants, simply better performance, online at seedconsultants.com. Talking the cool weather, many Ohio livestock producers bring in their livestock at this time of the year. Well, not so for one type of cattle that we're talking about today. That's yaks. We head over to Western Union County to talk with Blake Mathis and his family, who operate Covered Bridge Yaks for food and fiber.
This is perfect yak weather. They really like the cold temperatures. The snow doesn't bother them at all. They really only go into the barn access to water. Aside from that, they're just out in the cold temperatures. Yaks are a little bit unusual. They're fun. They have the horns. They're hairy. They're a good conversation piece, an all-purpose type of livestock.
Mathis says many of their yaks are destined for meat, which they market direct to consumer, as well as through various local grocery stores. The meat, very, very lean, he says.
They are pretty slow growing. So it takes about 3 years at least to get like a steer up to appropriate weight to butcher. Because the meat is so lean, it really is something that a lot of consumers are looking for.
Yaks originally from the Himalayan region, they were brought to the Americas in the early 1900s. Yak meat not allowed to be imported into the United States. That means all yak you purchase here was raised in the country. And not surprising, it's not the most common type of livestock out there. Only a handful of yak producers in this region. That full video goes much more in depth online today at ohioagnet.com. In other news, the USDA has issued a final poultry tournament rule under the Packers and Stockyards Act this week. The American Farm Bureau Federation is calling that new USDA rule a step in the right direction. Sam Kiefer is Vice President of Public Policy with American Farm Bureau.
Final rule includes flexible provisions for a more transparent and a predictable payment structure for contract poultry growers. The rule also requires capital investment disclosures be provided to the growers by the integrators when expensive updates or modifications for the existing structures are required.
Kiefer tells us the rule meant to level the playing field.
This rule will help growers by providing a fair environment in which to operate. And these changes allow the market to set prices that will give contract growers more certainty with base prices that they can rely on.
Again, that's Sam Kiefer with the American Farm Bureau giving us an update on the new poultry tournament rule, which is, they say, providing needed transparency. Let's now turn our eyes over to markets. What's driving those today? Taking a look at that thanks to Brandt, helping growers take control for over 70 years. Ryan Metzger checks in.
I'm Ryan Metzger with Lice Mercantile, providing you with a weekending recap following the WASDE report last Friday that cut U.S. production on both corn and beans, that tightened global supply. The market is now focused on South American weather and potential tariff risk. Northern and central Brazil have had perfect weather, but concern has been building in southern Brazil and Argentina, which have been drier over the last 2 weeks with temperatures in the upper 90s. Now that the models are looking for a wetter forecast in those dry regions, it looks like the soybean market will go risk off and trade lower in anticipation of another record-breaking crop in South America. Please visit our website at licemercantile.com to learn more about our grain marketing program and crop insurance services.
Thanks, Ryan. Grains higher in Chicago at the moment. March corn up 8 cents to $4.82.5. New crop corn up 2.5 cents to $4.55.25. Near-term soybeans seeing March up 12 cents to $10.31, while new crop up 3.25 to $10.24, and July wheat up 1.75 to $5.61.25 per bushel. Markets brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. February live cattle down 15 cents to $196.45. Feeder to cattle for March up 20 cents to $267.93. And hogs down across the board about $1.50 worth. And don't forget, markets closed on Monday due to the holiday. And find more at ohioagdat.com. Thanks for tuning in to the Ohio AgDat.